John Cassimus in the studio with us here today. News Radio 105.5 WERC, and a huge event brewing. I have to imagine you've been preparing for Restaurant Week for a long, long time, and it's finally here. Can you sort of give us the nuts and bolts of what this is all about?
Yeah, well, you've got basically a 10-day period of time where a lot of restaurants have come together and are offering special deals and incentives to come in and to dine at their restaurants. And what we're trying to hopefully get accomplished with this is to get people to go out there and that may be interested in trying a certain restaurant that may not have been before, to go out with the offers and coupons and things of that nature, to get out there to try it and to get just excited about spending a 10-day period of time of maybe eating at a different restaurant every night or a different one at lunch during that period of time.
So somebody could really sort of map out their entire 10-day period of time and, like you said, do a lunch here, do a dinner here, you maybe sneak over here for an appetizer, and each restaurant going to have various levels and stages of kind of deals to offer. So some, $10, $20, $30 ranges, is that right?
That's exactly right. And they're not all, it's not a uniform
sure.
situation.
Everybody's different.
That's right. And so it gives everybody an opportunity. So it's unique is that sometimes it's fun if you're a foodie, which Birmingham is a very food savvy town with lots of great restaurants and independently owned restaurants that are nationally known. People like to go out and dine, but sometimes you get kind of in a, not per se a rut, but you have your favorites where I know I do, and I have places that I just like to go. And with this kind of a situation with that 10-day period, I'm like, there's a place over here I haven't really been before, but they have a really great offer, and I know they're going to be really busy because of Restaurant Week, so let's go, and it'll be fun. And I think that's kind of what it's just kind of a push and to get people out dining.
Almost a reminder of, hey, look what we got right here in our backyard. And you and I were speaking a moment ago here before we really started this interview about how couponing has changed people's eating habits and their restaurant habits, and you're sort of tying into that. You alluded to that with the deals that are going on here. Can you sort of tie those two together and explain how somebody could use deals? Maybe it's with BirminghamRestaurantWeek.com in order to be able to plan their dining experiences? Yeah,
well, it's become an extremely very socially acceptable way of getting out and dining is the coupon-driven, whether it's the Super Deal, which is a big one here in Birmingham, or Groupons and things like that. People are using those to really map out how they eat and how they dine. Ultimately, to me and to a lot of consumers, it's about how good the product is. Whether it's a coupon or not, you kind of want to eat great food. And so with all the independently owned restaurants here in Birmingham that are coming together for this event and offering certain deals that may not necessarily want to do something as extensive as a super deal where you may sell 2,000. We just did one the other day at Maki Fresh and sold hundreds and hundreds of them. And that's an exposure for certain restaurant owners. This is a little bit different where for a few days they can offer certain discounts and people can come in and try it and then hopefully obtain new customers. That's what it takes. You have to get people in the door to sit down in your seat, to eat your food, to get them to want to come back.
Right. They need to be able to feel the entire experience.
That's exactly
and
right.
that good feeling in their tummy and their brain and in their palate when it's all said and done. Who are some of the restaurants that are participating this year in Restaurant Week?
Well, I know we are at Maki Fresh, which is a fast casual Japanese concept, and it's just quick, easy sushi, and then other grilled items and rice bowls and things of that nature. I know Jim and Nick's is, which is some close personal friends that do a great job, and I know they are. So you've got a lot of the people that have been around doing this for a long period of time in the restaurant business coming together. And when you have, I think when you see the old guard, if you will, that are participating in this, I think it really sends a good signal that it's not just a few people just trying to get together and do something kind of hokey. This is a real legitimate event with great food and great restaurants and great operators.
Let's go back again to the quality scenario here and what a foodie town Birmingham is. And I know we've had several James Beard chefs here in town, people that have been honored nationally for what they do in the kitchen. Can you name some of those? Do you know who some of those folks are and where they work?
Absolutely. I mean, for me, it's I travel a lot for work and have eaten all over the United States. But with Birmingham, it really, truly, and even people that know that are not from here, Birmingham sits high on the list. You've got obviously great restaurants like Hot and Hot Fish Club with Chris Hastings, who's an amazing chef. Of course, Frank Stitt he really brought really amazing great dining to Birmingham with his restaurants, Highland Bar Grill, Bottega Cafe, and then Chez Fanfan, which is a French bistro. Then you've got lots of other great restaurants like Café DuPont, You've got Little Savannah, these places that are these gems of restaurants. And then the old school, like the Bright Star, which has been around 104 or 5 years in Bessemer, which is, I ate there the other day, and it's one of the greatest restaurants ever. It's seafood and Greek-style food. And that's really ultimately what started Birmingham with the dining, was the fact that these immigrants came over from Greece, which my granddad was one of them, with John's Restaurant in downtown Birmingham, and created this culinary dining for just regular, ordinary Southerners to get a little flair of international and Mediterranean food. And then from that standpoint, it just kind of grew with Frank coming back to town. And so you've got great restaurants. You've got amazing barbecue here, lots of mom and pops. Zoe's Kitchen, of course, the restaurant that myself and my mother were the founders of. That now have we have 60 restaurants now over I think 15 states around the U.S. But just all homemade, fresh made food daily. And Birmingham has a lot of that to offer with all these really unique small restaurants.
Now, 2008 was not a good year for the economy. Wasn't a good year for restaurants. You all took a huge hit because that was one of the first things that seemed to go out of people's budgets was, going out and getting a really nice meal. They opted to stay home. So one of the ideas behind Restaurant Week is to remind people again that these restaurants are there. And then once that reminder gets set, I'd have to imagine that in your experience, once somebody gets the hook in their mouth, they continue to come back again and again, huh?
That's true. And it's you have to get them in, you have to let them taste it, and then the retention rate is based on how well you can execute. How good the service is, how speedy the service is, and how the quality of the product and how it tastes. The food business is an extremely tough business. I mean, 90% of all restaurants fail in the first year. And so what has with the economy has not really stopped and slowed down is the fast casual dining, which is where the future of the restaurant industry is, which is places like Zoe's Kitchen or like Jim and Nick's during lunch and things like that, even though they're not fast casual, but more quicker, less expensive, healthier options. What took a really a tough beating was the fine dining restaurants and the full service restaurants sitting down at nighttime when the economy gets tough. Stock market's been, crashing here recently. And that really, people look at their bank accounts and they go down, it goes down by whatever percentage in one day. The last thing they think about is going and spending a couple $100s at dinner. And so this is just a way to get people back out, get them exciting about trying new products. And that's really what it really ultimately it is. There's so many great restaurants. One of the best restaurants in town that I love now is called Batola. And it's a really amazing. The guy was on the cover of actually Food and Wine magazine. His name's James Lewis, and recently in the last month's issue is one of the top new chefs in America, which is an extremely high honor. And his food is amazing. It's very inexpensive. It's in the Martin Biscuit Building by Pepper Place on South Side. But you've got restaurants like that people may not have necessarily tried before, and they go try it. They understand there are other options available, and then it just gets them excited about eating.
That's great stuff. BehamRestaurantWeek.com, and that's where all the participating restaurants are. I'm guessing you can even check out the menus that are there and various deals, different deals each day?
No, everybody has the same deals.
Same deals. So if you miss it on Monday, the same deals will be there on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, throughout the entire 10-day periods.
That's correct.
Awful glad that you came in. John Cassimus.
Thanks so much.
Again, anything that we missed about Birmingham Restaurant Week that you'd like to get in before we conclude?
Just get out and have a great time and enjoy Birmingham and all it has to offer with all the great dining and have fun and come back.